Good morning, everyone. I'm Kevin Meredith, President of Engineering Design Systems. On behalf of EDSI and Autodesk, we'd like to thank you for joining us today to learn more about how BIM can help fuel growth in your business and also to demonstrate the power of Revit and how this tool can increase your productivity. Before we get started, I have just a couple of quick housekeeping notes. Today, our attendees will be in a listen-only mode. If you have questions, you can type them in the Q&A panel in the upper right-hand corner. We will be monitoring and answering questions during the session today. So here's our agenda for this morning. First of all, we're going to talk about some industry trends as it pertains to building information modeling. Second, we're going to talk some about ROI, or return on investment. Then we're going to hear from EDSI's AEC application engineer and BIM specialist, Mr. Douglas Bray. Douglas is actually going to demonstrate live some of the most compelling features of Revit, which is Autodesk's solution for BIM. Then we're going to wrap up with some suggestions on how your organization can begin to prepare to implement these new technologies. So with that, let's get started. First of all, we're going to talk about a few industry trends as it pertains to building information modeling. I think we can all agree that our world and our industry are changing at a rapid pace. Building information modeling, or BIM, holds the key to addressing many of the business challenges that we face. Building information modeling is an intelligent, model-based process that provides insight for creating and managing building projects faster, more economically, and with less environmental impact. BIM can provide a way to gain greater project insight earlier in the design process and help your organization make more informed decisions. Industry statistics support the view that BIM is a powerful tool and allows us to address many of the challenges that we face. This slide shows a percentage of professions using BIM on more than 60% of their projects. And as you can see, organizations are increasing their utilizations across the board of this technology. If we look at architects, they've consistently been the heaviest BIM users due to the length of time, I think, in the time that they've been involved with building information modeling. And they're projected to reach an industry-topping level of 75% adoption by the end of 2014. Engineers actually had the lowest level in 2011, 26%. This is expected to almost double, go to 40% by the year 2014. And it's interesting, the fastest rate of growth right now is with contractors. They're projected to reach over a 50% adoption level by the end of this year. And I know as Douglas and I have talked internally here at EDSI, this is consistent with what we're seeing in our region. Higher education and universities, I think, have been the largest driver, with Virginia Tech, UVA, Liberty, VMI, Radford University, all having multiple projects requiring BIM deliverables. Every organization is different. We all have different projects, we have different processes, and we have different skill sets within our organizations. We feel that the key to any investment that you make is ultimately to achieve a return on your investment, or an ROI. As we talk about a return on investment, it's important to realize that the business value with BIM is driven both by internal and external forces and at multiple levels. Let's consider the areas where one might find the value of BIM from multiple perspectives. At the very center, the value of BIM can be realized at the project level. This is where, by its basic nature, BIM drives improved design quality, reduces project delivery cost, and can also reduce the timeliness associated with RFIs and change orders. This is where the use of BIM can have an impact to make a project finish under budget and ahead of schedule. The project level of benefits of BIM are amplified as we look at the overall value to a firm that's implemented BIM. Firms can see the value of BIM in increased profits resulting from multiple factors. These include the ability to offer an expanded range of services that can help you reach new market segments. The use of BIM can also help firms maintain repeat business with existing clients. And the predictability that working in BIM affords a firm can also result in fewer legal claims associated with litigation fees. And last but not least, we're seeing the value of BIM from an industry perspective. Overall, we gain efficiency in sharing and coordinating more information through an intelligent model. Now, we've talked about the benefits, but the transition to BIM is not without cost. Firms need to make investment in software, subscription, investments in their people, and in their computer systems. I think it's also important as your organization looks at this to look at implementation costs, costs of training, costs of developing a template. And last but not least, BIM requires a process change within your organization. So we need to start rethinking about team roles and looking at new, more efficient communication models. With all this being said, the benefits and the payback can be significant. The firms that have successfully implemented BIM have increased productivity, they've increased their collaboration, fewer change orders, more accurate, better estimating, and also overall better designs. Now, we found at EDSI the key to getting a real return on your investment is a good, solid implementation within your organization. We just like to say this is not just your typical software upgrade. To be successful with this technology, you're going to need a comprehensive plan and a high-level approach. And let's look at some of the universal requirements for a successful BIM implementation. We recommend an integrated business strategy that consists of 4 primary areas of development. You've got to have a good strategy. You need leadership and planning. You need to look at a process change. And it's important to measure or assess your progress. This business transformation begins with a strategy that defines your organizational goals and expectations for your business. During this stage, business executives define reasonable milestones and outline the metrics by which success will be measured. This vision, if it's enabled by your leaders and it's sponsored at the executive level, will begin to motivate and drive change within your organization. The bottom line, I think, is our organizations have built our processes and workflows around our legacy software tools and technologies. And with Revit and BIM, it's really necessary to look at how we work and how we share information to ensure we get the most from this powerful technology. Now, Revit is Autodesk's solution for BIM. It was purpose-built for building information modeling. And with that, I'd like to introduce you to Douglas Bray. Douglas is a AEC and BIM specialist here in Engineering Design Systems. Douglas has assisted numerous firms with extremely successful BIM implementations. And as I introduce Douglas, I'd just like to say that Revit, Douglas is going to show you that Revit is a better tool for design and documentation. Douglas is going to give us a brief demonstration on 3 topics where this application really excels. First and foremost is the automation of processes. Douglas is going to demonstrate how Revit handles so much of the tedious drafting and documentation automatically. Second, Douglas is going to show how the power of drawing coordination with the Revit platform. And coordination and sharing of data has always been a challenge in our industry, and Revit provides a great platform to better coordinate disciplines. And last but not least, this is a tremendous tool to help you visualize and to sell your designs. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Douglas Bray. Thanks.
Thank you, Kevin. Today we're going to look at Autodesk Revit 2014. And the three areas I want to focus on is the automated process, the coordination, and the visualization. Most projects, when you as an architect get started, you may have some type of a layout from the coordination that you have with the owner on what you would like to do. You have your exterior shell, and then you have the interior. In this example, I want to focus on the design options aspect of Revit 2014. Here we just have a basic layout where we have an open office, office A, B, and then a restroom for the men and women and a mechanical room. But again, as architects, you like to present the owner with different layouts, or even for yourself. So within design options, what we have here, we have the main exterior area. That will be for the main model. So if I click here on this view, we can have option 2. Now within this option, I'm going to make this option editable. Notice that the main model grays out. So now what I have the capabilities of doing is we can go in here and we can lay out a different floor plan for the owner to look at, or even for ourselves. So let's say we're going to have an office here. Let's say we have another breakdown here, just a different layout, and we're going to put something back over here as well. Let's say we close off this whole area and maybe have that one as an office or some kind of storage space. Let's add some doors. We put one here, one over here. We're using a different door style here, so let's switch these out to interior door. See how quick that was. And let's add one more other door right over here as well. Okay, and this is just for a general layout to illustrate how this is going to be. So let's go ahead and add in our rooms for these areas as well. Okay, for this area here, here, and here. Okay, so this is going to be our layout that we're going to present again for ourselves as well as for the owner. So this is sort of like the tissue paper that your architects use when it comes to different layouts. So we can go to layout 3, floor plan option 3. We're going to make that one editable, and we can do another one. So maybe we do something a lot more simpler. Something like that. Come straight down here, and we'll come straight over here. Let's add in our doors, interior, and you can have ADA doors here with the clearance on them. Okay, and now let's add our rooms in here. Okay, so as we look back here, we'll go ahead and put this back to main model. We have option 1, which we're showing this particular layout. We have option 2, and we have option 3. Now what's really nice about this, if we look at our floor plan here, our sheet, each option as indicated here in the floor plan, of course we have some elevations of the exterior, but we can have our schedules that will represent each of those options. So as you see here, room finish schedule option 1, and it shows all of our rooms that we've indicated for that particular option, as well as a door schedule. If we go over here to option 2, we see that we didn't identify what these rooms are, but you can clearly see that it's identifying all of the rooms that were added for that option and that option only, as well as the doors that we added for that one as well. Okay, I think that's very, very powerful. Let's keep going. As we see here, we notice that within Revit, when you have a model, let's go back to our option 1. This is the main model. And the south elevation view is looking at it from the rear. So there's our rear door, and there's a window here and a window here. Okay, so go back to this option. Let me close all the windows and open the south elevation view back open again. I'm going to tile it. So now we're capable of seeing the floor plan itself as well as the elevation of it. Well, let's say that there is a change that needs to be made. So if this window here will need to be deleted, notice that not only did it remove it from off of the floor plan, but it also removed it from the elevation. So that's one less step you have to be concerned with when it comes to the coordination of, are the elevations are going to update with the changes that I make. Again, another example would be, let's say this door moves. Let's say we just move this door over 6 inches. And if you also notice here that the elevation, it moved over 6 inches as well. Even a door swing, if you take this door and we switch the swing on it, the elevation also updates as well. Very, very powerful. Let's keep going. So as we see here, we have some other other views that we can look at. Right here we have a furniture layout plan. With the furniture layout plan, we can lay out our different furnitures. In our option A plan, we can also create it for option 2 and 3. But what I really want to show you is the floor finish plan. Okay, so if you have a view and you want to indicate what floor finishes that will be presented, this is how we can do that. Again, we're talking about the automated process, so we quickly want to be able to show what floor finishes are going to be available. So let's make option 1 available. We go here to this open office. Let's say we want the floor finish to be wood. We can come down here and pick wood. Not only will it show a pattern, but within our legend it shows us that within a box in here. Let's keep going. Let's say for this office as well as this one over here, we want the floor finish to be carpet. It adds that to the legend. And let's go over here. Let's say the women's and the men's bathroom. We want that to be VCT. And last but not least, we'll say that the mechanical room will be concrete. Now, that's pretty fast. We're identifying what are the floor finishes, and as we see here, we have a square foot area with our tags that's going to allow us to use this number to do some budgetary numbers on how much it would cost for wood to be placed here, carpet. There's so much more we can do with this. Okay, let's look at our life safety plan. So we go to that view, and there we have a life safety plan. I know architects like to generate a occupant load. They want to know what the occupant load is for like these office areas. So how can you do that? Well, within the software you can generate a schedule that will pull in the name the number, and the area. And we can put in a occupant factor. Okay, so for an office area, depending on the local code requirements, I think this is going to be 100 for the office area. And that may vary from state to state. Okay? So as we see here, there's a formula, a calculated formula going on here where we're taking the area and we're dividing it by this factor. So for the open office area, the calculated occupant load is 11. And for those small offices, the code, the occupant load is 1. So we can put these numbers in to match up over here. And now we can go back to our floor plan and we see that our tag updates and show us all the pertinent information that we need from that aspect. What about a fire egress path? We have that capability as well. So we come over here to families. I believe I have that under special equipment. There we go. Okay, just want to put that in there, and then we're going to do create similar. And let's say we start. I'm going to start right here. Start an occupied space. We'll click here. I'm going to head on out here. Then I'm going to add one here and go straight on up. Take this one, we're going to delete it. Click right here. We're going to add us a dot to it. On this one, we're going to add us an arrow. And on this one, we're going to add us an arrow. Okay, let's do a little cleanup work here. Alrighty, and as you see here, this particular tool that I'm showing you here, this is the special equipment, that's the category that I call it, but this is like a egress line based path where we're showing the distance on it. So you know what's the distance needed from here to get out and all the way out to this way as well. I think that is pretty powerful. Let's keep going. What about from a coordination aspect? Okay, so once this floor plan has been approved, we can take this and hide that category. Once the floor plan has been approved, we want to submit this to our mechanical, electrical subs, so they will have time to lay out the mechanical and the electrical and the plumbing. Let's say we have done that, and so now we're ready to review the type of work that they have done so far. Well, you can do that using, and it would be very powerful if everyone is using the same platform. So this example is that your subs are using Revit 2014 as well. And as we see here from the project browser area, Revit link, I have an MEP .rvt file already linked in. So let's go to a view that we are showing the coordination side. Just take this and hide that category. So as we see here from a coordination side, we can see that the mechanical, the electrical is grayed out. We see our equipment, our furniture in here as well, and we can see where the electrical is planning on putting the phone and data outlets as well as the receptacle outlets. And to me, as we see here, there are some coordination issues that we need to address. Here, I don't think there's any problems with where the furniture is and where this outlet is, data outlet. But here we have an issue. We need to move this one over or have them add one. As we go here to the office, we see that we have them on the wall here, but the way we have our furniture, there may be an issue how these things are laid out. Also, we see here we have a light fixture and a diffuser in the same spot. So these types of things we would need to coordinate with the mechanical and make sure that they will rectify these issues. So let's go ahead and do a section. So we can go up here, click section. We'll come across here. We just want to look in this general area right here. We know we got a beam here and one here, and I know there's a cross member here. So let's take a look and go to that view. As we see here, we have we're looking down this section. We can clearly see, wow, look how much information is given to us. We see the exterior walls, we see the furniture in here, we see the lights, we see the ceiling space, and we also see our beam here, and we see some ductwork here as well. So something's going on where there's a conflict with the ductwork in this beam. Let's look at another aspect. Again, this is the power of Revit when it comes to the visualization. So if we click on the roof, we're just going to temporarily hide that. We can zoom in here and visually see that when the ductwork was run, because of the ceiling being so high, they had to have the ductwork and presently it's running into this beam. Now there's several things that can be done. They could possibly change the size of the duct, make it squattier, and make the height not so high, or they can do a turn down if need be. But the point of the matter here is we can visually see the way they're running it, the ductwork. It is too high and it's going to cause a conflict out in the field. So to find these issues early is extremely important, and this is the time-saving aspect of it. So we can clearly see the problems that we're going to find out in the field and correct them before we get change orders. Okay? Let's look at another visual aspect of it. So let's say this is the layout that we wanted, and from a furniture floor plan layout, again, this is something that we would like to utilize. Okay? And let's say you wanted to create a view, a camera view of this area. So here we can look at this camera view and look back as you're exiting the building, and we can clearly see how this area is going to look, and if we need to add fairing around these beams so they don't show up, we can see if we don't do that how this is going to look. Of course, as an architect that would be taken care of, but it's very quick how we can create these different views, and we can change the display aspect of it. So here I just change it so that it's going to show realistic. So now we have stone over here on the wall that I've painted on. If we wanted to have hardwood floors here, we hit modify. We can do paint, and I can do wood. We can do let's do another search. There goes oak flooring, and I can paint that oak flooring in to get a good feel on what that would look like if this was that as well, or if I wanted to do carpet, I can change that to carpet. Okay? So as a recap, it's very quick to do different options. So I can have this layout as well as others. We can very quickly generate different floor plan views and also have the schedules to update. Thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, Douglas, for sharing some of the powerful capabilities of Revit with us today. So moving forward, whether this tool is new to your organization or whether you've begun a BIM implementation and would just like to accomplish some additional objectives or reach a higher level of productivity, our team at Engineering Design Systems is here to help. We have a tremendous amount of experience and expertise that we'd like to put to work for your organization. Please do not hesitate to contact us if you'd like to set up a conference call, if you'd like us to come out to your office and we can sit down and talk. But you have our commitment to work hard to help you put a plan in place to help your organization achieve their objectives with building information modeling technology. And with that, I'd just like to thank everyone for your time this morning. We will continue to monitor questions for the next few minutes, and we hope everyone has a great day. Thank you.